National Letter of Intent Day 2023 delivered. Some of the top high school football players in the country have signed up to compete in the Mountain West. Hi everybody, I'm Jesse Kurtz here in the Mountain West Network studio for some insight into the class of 2023 and who might make the biggest impacts in their college career. We bring in our national recruiting expert, Alan Trieu of 24/7 Sports. Alan, it is always great to run you down. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Always very relaxed talking to you just after signing day. So you always catch me in a good mood.
Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate that maybe we can bring some joy into your life. You brought some joy into Mountain West fans' life with the way that you have performed in the last 8 years. If you've been paying attention, Mountain West fans, he has given you a heads up on who is primed to become the next big stars in this league. So why mess with a great thing? Alan is gracious enough to do it all over again here in 2023 by counting down his top 5 signees in the Mountain West according to the 24/7 Sports composite rankings. All right, Alan, let's start with number 5. Nevada has had some really great quarterbacks in its history, talking about guys who have led teams to the Super Bowl in the NFL, former Mountain West Offensive Players of the Year, NFL draft picks. And it sounds like Ken Wilson now has the latest and greatest quarterback to follow in some pretty big footsteps for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, this is a guy that can fill big footsteps because he's 6'8", 235 pounds. That is Jax Leatherwood out of Scripps Ranch in California. And I think in some ways he may have gotten forgotten about a little bit because he was injured as a senior, but as a junior, he produced enough for 2 seasons. He passed for 3,915 yards and 53 touchdowns. And in that time, only threw 2 interceptions. So he's not just big, he's smart with the football, very powerful arm, led his team to a state title. So he's played in pressure situations. And so he's an early enroll who's going to come in. He's healthy. I think he has super high potential and a big ceiling. And like you said, is going to a place that knows a thing or two about how to throw the football.
Yeah, I mean, he's a winner. You mentioned he led his team, his high school, Scripps Ranch High School, to a state football championship. Also led him to a state basketball championship, a guy who had an offer from San Diego State as well, a terrific leader who is headed to Reno. Moving on to number 4, Danny Gonzalez continues to rebuild and retool his roster at the University of New Mexico. This year's class includes 8 wide receivers, the most of any position group here in the 2023 recruiting class, including your number 4 signee in the Mountain West.
Yeah, that's DJ Washington, a junior college guy. So he's going to come in with a little bit of experience and age. And so I think he has a good chance to play early. He's physically ready, extremely high on him. Our national staff ranked him as the number 2 junior college wide receiver in the country and a top 20 overall junior college prospect. Had 54 catches for 10 touchdowns for Iowa Central. Took official visits to schools like Colorado and UCF, so there were other programs on him. This is a really, really good get, and I think one of the guys on this list that may be most likely to play next fall.
Yeah, very productive at Iowa Central Community College, 54 total catches, 10 touchdowns, was the Offensive Player of the Year in the Iowa Community College Athletic Conference, looking to now make that sort of an impact in the land of enchantment. All right, Alan, San Diego State has made a living with big, athletic, strong offensive linemen. That fits Brady Hoke's persona to a T. And it sounds like at number 3, they've got another guy who fits that mold who's headed to the Mesa.
Yeah, Jonah Rodriguez has all of those things that you just said. And he had a lot of different offers. Quite a few Pac-12 schools coming at him, Arizona State, Colorado, Boise was recruiting him from the same conference. But from right there in San Diego, Madison High School. So he stuck with the Aztecs. And he's a guy who's ranked pretty highly on the 24/7 Sports composite. In our 24/7 in-house ranking, he's ranked even higher. He's the top 40 offensive tackle in the country. Maybe not quite as tall and as long as some of the other tackles, but athletic enough to play left tackle. I think when you see him at the high school level, does extremely well in the second level when they ask him to make blocks on the move. And he's got a little bit of that mauler mentality as well that you mentioned Coach Hope likes.
Yeah, great leader at Madison High School, led 3 different teams to high school state playoff appearances in 4 years. You mentioned those Pac-12 schools, Arizona State, Colorado were all on this guy. He is headed to San Diego State. But Jay Norvell has been a terrific head coach and a terrific recruiter in his time in the Mountain West. Of course, at Nevada, he did that, and now he's doing great things at Colorado State with the 24/7 Sports Composite Rankings, 2nd ranked recruiting class in the Mountain West, signed 39 players, 10 of which were offensive linemen. linemen, and something tells me that those offensive linemen he signed are really going to like blocking for your number 2 signee in the Mountain West.
Yeah, Damian Henderson, a running back from out of California who had offers from Arizona, Washington, several other schools. This is a really good pickup for the Rams. He's a little bit of a thoroughbred, 6'1", over 185 pounds, and at that size was an outstanding track and field competitor in high school. Was a high jumper, was a long jumper, ran 11 flat in the 100 meters, and then he produced on the football field as well. 1,729 yards. That's almost 10 yards a carry, 23 touchdowns as a senior. So he's a big physical back, but can take the top off, can break away some big runs as well. So you get size and speed right there in Damian Henderson. I think this guy's a future star.
Yeah, if you're an offensive player in high school, why wouldn't you want to play in the air raid offense for Matt Mumme and Jay Norvell? They're going to get something going in a major way in Fort Collins, and it sounds like Damian Henderson will be the latest guy who can fit into that mold and do big things in Fort Collins. Finally, on to number 1, and he also is a running back headed to a place that has churned out elite running backs after elite running backs, talking about Ian Johnson, Doug Martin, Jay Ajayi, Jeremy McNichols, George Holani. I mean, the list goes on, talking about Boise State, and Andy Avalos has another great back coming his way.
Yeah, they went into Texas for this one. Jambris Dunbar from Anna High School. We just mentioned the track background. This guy, 10.63 in the 100-meter dash, so he can scoot, he can fly, and he used that on the football field as well. Ran for over 2,500 yards and 29 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons, but it's a versatile back. Also caught 63 passes, so they're going to be able to get him out in space, can move him around. He's a big play guy. I think has a chance to come in and immediately help them change the scoreboard there. Had some schools come in on him late, including Deion Sanders at Colorado. He sticks with Boise, and I think he's, for us, is the top player in the class, 4-star guy heading out to the Broncos.
A big reason Andy Avalos secured 24/7 Sports top class this season at Anna High School. Dunbar rushed for 100 yards or more in 8 games as a junior, and then another 8 games as a senior. So here is the list for 2023, according to Alan Trieu and 24/7 Sports composite rankings. At number 5, Jax Leatherwood, a quarterback out of San Diego, headed to Nevada. At number 4, DJ Washington, a wide receiver out of Florida by the way of the JUCO route in Iowa, headed to Albuquerque and the New Mexico Lobos. Jonah Rodriguez, offensive lineman, staying home in San Diego to play for the Aztecs. Damian Henderson, running back from Southern California, headed to Fort Collins to join Jay Norvell and Colorado State. And Jambris Dunbar, a running back out of Anna, Texas, which is near Dallas. He is headed to Boise State. Alan, well done. You've done a sensational job, and we always appreciate your insight.
Appreciate that. I also have to give out a shout out to the team at 24/7. I don't do this by myself, so they've helped compile these, and I'm glad we've been a little bit accurate over the years.
Well, you've been more than accurate, and we certainly appreciate your information and your insight. That's Alan Trieu, recruiting expert for 24/7 Sports. You can follow him on Twitter at Alan Trieu, ALLENTRIEU, with his top 5 signees in the Mountain West for 2023. From the Mountain West Network studio, I'm Jesse Kurtz.